some unfortunate news in the NBA. We have essentially, with Embiid already down, we kind of have our front runner for the MVP and our front runner for the Rookie of the Year, both going down with injuries this weekend. LeBron James with a high ankle sprain, or syndesmosis sprain, as we like to say in the kin community. Might break that down in a second. And LaMelo Ball going down with a fractured wrist and is believed will be missing the rest of the season. That's really tough for Charlotte because they are in the thick of a playoff race right now. And he has been really, really special for them. I think he's 7th on the team in fourth quarter minutes, so not super key to their success down the stretch, but definitely a guy who puts up a lot of stats for them and is a great part of their culture. We wonder if he might be back in time for the playoffs if Charlotte ends up capturing one of those spots. But for now, end of the regular season, it looks like Ball will not be back until then. And that's a really tough pill to swallow because he's probably played enough games this season to have the Rookie of the Year locked up, but we'll have to see what Tyrese Halliburton does down the stretch. He kind of feels like the only guy left who can catch him at this point. And so if Halliburton has a really solid, like no injury, really solid rest of the season, then he'll probably end up stealing that from LaMelo, who was pretty much a lock until this injury this weekend. So really, really terrible news. I feel bad, especially for SportsCenter, because I don't know what they're going to post on Instagram now with both of these guys going down. That was a joke being tossed around this weekend. But the LeBron injury, really, really rare freak. Guy falls on his foot, and most ankles, obviously, if you're listening on the podcast, you can't see this, but I like to use my hand as a proxy for what a foot would look like. And most ankles turn outwardly, so an inversion fracture. But LeBron, when the guy fell on his ankle from the outside, actually turned inward as an eversion sprain. And so what that can do is when your foot is locked on the floor and it's not pointed, it's locked and it goes like that, then it is actually like really susceptible to fractures up in your leg bones. So your tibia and your fibula. The x-rays came back negative, which is a huge sigh of relief for Lakers fans because that would have knocked him out for 3-4 months. But right now with the syndesmosis sprain, which kind of travels up your leg, there's kind of a membrane that attaches the two bones in your leg together. So that's also going to be a little bit torn, and the ligaments on the inside of his foot will be torn. It'll be probably about 6 to 8 weeks you're looking at as his return timeline. I don't know if they'll be more cautious and maybe extend that a little bit longer, but they didn't give a timeline in their press release, but I'm giving you it here now as a kinesiology student. So if you want to come for your injury news, just talk to me. It looks to be about 6 to 8 weeks for LeBron. And I believe last we heard Anthony Davis, March 1st said he'd be about a month. So probably a little bit less than 2 weeks left until AD's back. And the Lakers are going to have to tread water until then. They lost big last night to the Suns. When you're missing the two guys that make your team hum, it's going to feel a lot like 2019 Lakers before Anthony Davis arrived and when LeBron went down and all those young kids were getting their butts kicked every night. Luckily, the Lakers have a pretty solid buffer over kind of that play-in seating. They can fall down as much as they like. They're probably not going to fall all the way to 7. So in that regard, I guess you can have a sigh of relief as Lakers fans, but you just really want these guys to get healthy and get recovered. And this time off, they can get their cardio back up. They can work a little bit on their strength. They can actually come back even stronger and ready to go with this rest because LeBron's really been worked into the ground this season. So this is an opportunity for him to catch his breath, and you'd hope they come back stronger and ready to just run in the playoffs.
Yeah, I guess 6 to 8 weeks will still be in time for playoffs, eh?
Yeah, it should be.
So as long as they can hang in there, not too much panic in Los Angeles yet.
Yeah, just making sure you don't want the team to fall down the standings because this team, even with Anthony Davis back, LeBron really runs that team with the playmaking. So Anthony Davis can provide you some of the numbers, but without one of those like playmaking guards, like they're really going to need Schroeder to step up. They're really going to need Caruso to give them a little bit more. You might see them looking for a buyout guy, playmaking guard of some kind to pick up just while LeBron is gone. That was a role that Rondo fit really well last year when LeBron wasn't on the court. He could at least move the ball around and find Anthony Davis in his spots. So this will be really important for the Lakers going forward. Is even when Anthony Davis comes back, this team isn't as successful unless LeBron is on the court. So really finding out ways to just scrape wins up and maintain their spot in the standings so they don't fall down too much will be really important for them. And just sucks to see kind of two top talents get hurt. That is what it boils down to.
Yeah, the MVP and Rookie of the Year trophies turning into a reward for longevity.
Yeah, and there's the old saying, availability is the best ability. Um, so you can't discount. I think Jokic has got to be your number one front runner now that the other top two guys are out with injuries.
And
Not to
if the
say that he,
Sixers and Lakers slide in this
yep,
time, that's kind of deserved, eh?
yep, and not to say that he wasn't like right there with them before, because he has been like his numbers are we've never seen anything like this before. But it also opens the door for Giannis, who people have been trying to find ways to not give him, but he has been just as productive as his previous two MVP seasons. He actually has better numbers than LeBron with better defensive stats. Um, he is another low-key guy that just won't get it because people don't want to give away 3 MVPs, but he probably is right in that mix. And then James Harden. The longer Kevin Durant has been out, the more Harden has succeeded with Brooklyn and is starting to claw his way into that conversation as well. And then you've obviously got like Luka and Dame who are hovering, but it feels like it's Jokic's now. He is in control of that. And depending on how quickly Embiid comes back, if they're going to be cautious with Embiid, so if he's sitting out longer, then this is Jokic's trophy now to win, and it makes me. It's kind of bummed. I think Jokic was my MVP kind of underdog pick 2 summers ago, so it would have been last season. And I guess I was just one season too early on that feeling because I love Jokic and the way he's been playing. It's been brilliant to watch.
Yeah, you love having these different unique guys in the league that all show you something different. And Jokic, it doesn't get much more unique than him.
Yeah, but they did lose to the Pelicans yesterday. Zion and Jackson Hayes, just two gross posters in that game. Zion curling to his left, and he just jumped from probably a foot inside the free throw line and just levitated and got fouled 3 different times, but no call, and just dunked over all of them. And then Jackson Hayes had this and one poster that was just nasty. Short roll, pocket bounce pass, caught it and went straight up and just dunked all over. I forget who it was. I think it was Paul Millsap, but yeah, nice dunks there. And the Pelicans giving the Nuggets a loss, but Jokic always going to put up numbers in every single game and really consistent, is the MVP front runner as of right now.